Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the NECA Godzilla classic video game incarnation figure. This was an interesting figure released by NECA with their 12-inch head-to-tail line of Godzilla action figures. And this one is just meant to look like the sprite from the video game Godzilla Monster of Monsters that came out a long time ago. Let's take a look at the box. Since the box is designed to look like the video game cover itself, with the video game art on the front of it, which is a picture of the 1954 Godzilla. It's tinted blue, and this is Godzilla Monster of Monsters. Official NECA seal of quality, Toho Co. Ages 14 and up, obviously. On the side, we just have NECA, Godzilla, and real toys right here. The back, it has some interesting things on here. It kind of just says how awesome it is. Features it has, you know, random stuff like that. Made in China. More art. Bottom is blank. This side is just the same as that. The inside, it actually has a Velcro strap right there, and it opens, and it has a game board right here designed to look like the level system from the game, which is really cool. And then up here, it has Godzilla Power Life, some like bars that represent it. It's supposed to look like the stats from the video game, which is really cool. And then inside the box, it's also like a backdrop for the video game. So overall, really cool packaging design for this figure, since it is supposed to look like a video game incarnation. So that's really neat. Now onto the figure itself. It is painted blue to look like the sprite that they had on the back of the box here. That sprite, as you can see. It looks pretty close. They did a good job, especially since this is just a reskin of the NECA 1985/84 Godzilla that they did not too long ago, where they just painted this one blue. They put some pixels all over the body, which is really cool. Some interesting shading effects here. Mostly just this blue color with the pixels painted on. The toenails are white, really cool looking. The tail kind of turns a little different color right here. No big deal. Texture all the way on the bottom. It's got red eyes. It's really cool. Overall, really interesting paint design. Just meant to look all pixely like the video game sprite, which it looks pretty sweet. That's why I wanted this one so bad. It's a really cool looking concept. Overall, really nicely done. The sculpt is, like I said, just the 84 Godzilla sculpt that they did with different spines added onto it. These spines are obviously way larger to make it look like the sprite. And overall, the articulation is the same as the 84 Godzilla one. There's just this head movement right here, around and side to side in the neck and the head itself. Mouth will open and close. Painted in there pretty well. The arms will move like this. Pretty stiff on this one. The elbow will move back and forth as well. Really stiff. And then the wrists will swivel around, but I don't want to move them too much because I know that the hands will break off on these ones really easily, which is a downside. But not a big deal as long as you're careful with it. The legs are really stiff as well. They can kind of move like this, but they mostly will just go right back into their original position. The knee bends a little bit, not a whole lot, more than the original 84 sculpt. And then the foot will swivel around like that. And then the tail moves right here, around a little bit, and then right here where it comes separately in the box. And then this right here is a wire, so you can bend that pretty much every way you want, as long as you don't break it. So I'd be a little careful about that. And that's pretty much it for articulation. Oh, besides one thing. It's got a little bit of a swivel right here. Not a whole lot. but you can get it to move a little bit, so you can kind of get him to hunch over a little bit or stand up straighter. Pretty good range of motion. Have him looking up. So here he is with the 84 sculpt from Neca, and as you can see, it is the same sculpt minus the change on the fins there. So it's just about the same, just painted differently. Which, you know, it works. It works for what they were trying to achieve, you know? It wasn't necessarily something that they had to go out and do, but it's really neat that they did take a video game sprite and turn it into a figure like this. Definitely cool, but yep, everything is the same except for the spines there. And then here's how big it is with one of your regular Bandai Japan vinyls. It's just a little bit taller, which is to be expected. The NECA figures are a tiny bit bigger than these usually, but overall this works pretty well. Just a rough size comparison here. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. Overall, this is a really interesting concept for NECA to do. I'm actually really happy with the way this one came out. It works really well, and overall it's a very good figure. Paint's very nice for what they're trying to achieve. Very cool job on this. Really does make it look like they pulled it right out of the game with all the pixelation and things like that. The sculpt it's alright. I mean, the 84 sculpt wasn't the best on their part, especially with the things that happened around the head, but it works for the sprite, even though the box art is the 54 Godzilla, which they just released not too long ago, so they could have used that one, but it doesn't matter. The movement on it's pretty good. You can get some interesting poses out of him. You can have him look up pretty well, things like that. And overall, the price on this is between $30 and $40. You're probably going to have to pay if you want it. I don't know how many of them are left around. There's probably still quite a few, but if you're willing to pay around $30 or $40 to get this, then I definitely recommend picking it up to have as a interesting little part to your collection. It's definitely awesome, not gonna lie. I'm really happy with this, so I definitely recommend you guys picking this up, and you guys have a nice day.